I came across this. And I guess my question is, are they finally getting it? And by they, I'm meaning people that are not leftists understanding the game. Not acknowledge, like, whether it's ideal or not is not particularly, well, I don't want to say it's irrelevant. But I will say that the reality is reality. You can't look at the world through the lens of what you want it to be. And that's it. You have to acknowledge what is, especially if you are to change things for the better. And when one of my biggest criticisms of it's not just conservatives, it's people that just aren't leftists, is that unlike leftists don't fund you and your projects, but you fund them. I think that is the fundamental difference in why everything is the way that it is. Because they have at least enough discipline. And that doesn't mean that they have to be smart. That doesn't mean that they have to be even coordinated. But they have enough discipline to understand that if you are their enemy, they will not only not fund you, they will go out of their way to try to destroy you. Whereas to the people on, let's say, the other sides, definitely political and social political sides, they give these people often the benefit of the doubt and look for a reason to consume product, things of that nature. Okay. So right here, there's this group of consumers research, and it's a conservative nonprofit launched a text alert system this week designed to warn shoppers to avoid products from companies accused of catering to what they deem as the woke agenda. Consumers Research, a Washington, D.C. based group poised at the intersection of policy and consumerism, introduced the woke alert. By entering a phone number, conservative-minded shoppers will receive text messages on companies deemed to have strayed too far left in their marketing and other strategies. Many corporations are putting progressive activists and their dangerous agendas ahead of customers. Oh, yeah, that's for sure true. They'll only succeed if we look the other way. I don't disagree with that. It says, as of Friday morning, the group already issued warnings on Bud Light, which recently came under fire, and we saw all of that. You guys know. Man, we've already covered that. It's they're launching woke alerts to help consumers make better informed decisions about where to spend money. And that's what Will Hild, who is the executive director, says. And look, I'm not necessarily against people making informed decisions. Okay. And I think that's more so what it's about. You might think that it's going a little too far, but a lot of normies, especially, they don't even know. Like, we can sit here all day on YouTube and until we're blue in the face talking about this stuff, but it's largely contained to those people and it's a big group of people. A lot of normies they're not in the know, right? And it's funny because leftists have very similar organizations that are actually worse in the sense that they will, say that you're something that you're not. In order to derail your business by all means and all accounts. Whereas to this is more, hey, make an informed purchase. And I think more people should act with their dollar. All too often are people waiting for the government to come save them. And way too often are people waiting for these mega corporate entities who are in control of brands and entertainment that you guys love and you give them the benefit of the doubt constantly because you still are clinging to that like nostalgia or whatever it is. Maybe you just enjoy it and you don't care that the people that you're actively like going out of your way to fund like despise you. And worse, they will use the money that you give them to then tell you how much they despise you. Right. And so when it feels like there is zero presence, there's not any presence in a lot of the mainstream entertainment of non-leftists, or it's like unbalanced, which it is. And if it feels that way, it's because that's exactly what it is. But in order to fix that problem, you have to acknowledge what the problem is. And they have been playing a completely different game from the others. We once did, especially in the 90s, lived in a world where none of that stuff mattered. Nobody cared what the views were because, they weren't for the most part using these entities as a means to beat you over the head with whatever social stuff that you might not be into. Now it's different, and they're telling on themselves. And even though they may have a brand name that you recognize, they're still letting you know that, hey, we don't like you. They'll take your money, but they don't like you. This isn't like the reverse of the cancel culture either. It's make an informed decision. Because this is the game they play, and you're going to hear a lot of leftists say that. They're going to be saying, well, I thought you were against cancel culture. It's like these hardcore leftist atheists who would go to a Christian and say, well, that's not anything. That's not very Christian-like. That means absolutely nothing coming from you. What they are mad at is that you guys are starting to realize the game. The analogy, what is it I've always used? It's the equivalent to entering into a boxing ring, and you might have the best morals and ethics and you want to fight honestly. But that person as you're entering the ring with said they're going to low blow you. They've loaded their gloves and they have bought off the judges and the referee. And you go into that fight thinking, oh, I'm going to fight fair because of my I don't know, integrity or whatever. And you're going to lose. You're going to lose every time. They're playing a different game. It's not to say that you need to play it. Actually, the only winning move is to not play it, to be more accurate with what it was that I said. So they do feel a little bit of reciprocity when you say, okay, y'all don't like us. Fine. We're going to act accordingly, okay? And we're going to make the adjustment. I think you need more of that. It doesn't need to necessarily manifest itself, in like woke alerts. But people need to be more mindful of how they're spending money. And I think that will help us get out of this situation. If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com. This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultramax, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically even with Rippaverse orders and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.